Yo, what is going on, everybody? So, unless you've been hiding under a rock, which anyone watching this content will not have been hiding up under enough of a rock to not know about this, you would have been following the Dr. Dre and Nicole Young saga. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And by the way, shout out to Coach Greg Adams, who posted this up on his Instagram. That's how I got the tip off that this was the latest off the press. So, Dr. Dre wins his legal battle in the divorce and won't have to pay $1.5 million to estranged wife. Now, she was seeking $2 million a month until they'd reached a settlement. And there's so much to unpack here. And I'm just going to do a quick recap, so stick with me here. A judge has rejected Dr. Dre's estranged wife, Nicole Young's request for $1.5 million to pay for various expenses such as security. The judge also dismissed her request to expedite Dre paying out $5 million for her lawyer's fees. So she's paying $5 million to lawyers to take $2 million a month from him. That was her attempt. And now she's mad because that $5 million that she threw in the hope of getting $24 million a year out of his bank account isn't working out too well for her. Young's lawyers were in court on Thursday urging the judge to accept her $1.5 million claim for security since she's getting death threats, TMZ reports. Now, you can go and check out the link in the description for this article, and you can click on the TMZ link. I'm not going to go there and read the things in there because there have been some things that people have said about her that would have been a very convenient solution for Dr. Dre that would have cost him a lot less money, but that may be somewhat illegal. So I'm not going there in this video because I'd really like to keep my channel. But feel free to go check that out if you so desire. Part of the reason why the judge rejected her request is because she let her security team go, which Dre was already. So Dre was already paying for a security team for her, even though they'd separated, even though she kicked him out of the house, even though she wouldn't let him pick up his motorcycle and his golf clubs and some other collectibles that he had, right? Even though she's coming after him for $2 million plus $5 million in legal fees and $2 million a month. And now she wants $1.5 million for security fees to get security that she canceled that he was already paying for. This is all a ploy for money, guys. All a ploy for money, plain and simple. There's nothing else about it. That's just straight down the line exactly what it is. Here we go. Young's lawyers also, so she alleged that Dr. Dre has been controlling and wanted to bring on her own security, saying Dre warned her that he would fire her security if they didn't do what he said. Yeah, he's paying for it. He gets to have a say. You want to pay for it out of your own pocket? You have your say. And in fact, I'd be willing to put it out there that you wouldn't need security, Nicole, had you not been making such outlandish demands and trying to screw a man over so hard. I could be wrong. That's just my gut feel on this. So, by the way, Successful Endeavors, good to see you back, brother. I hear you went well. I very happy to see you back in the chat. Would love to, I'll chat with you in Discord after this. Young's lawyers also urged the judge to advance the hearing regarding the $5 million for attorney's fees, wanting it moved from January to this month. However, the judge said no. Guys, you know how I've been saying for like the last couple of years that no is the most important word in the English language? Well, this judge obviously knows it. So that's good. Young's lawyers also urged, when the judge dismissed Young's requests, he remarked that he's working on a more crucial domestic violence and custody cases. Of course, he's been accused of that's straight out of the playbook. Women, look, if you've genuinely had a man lay hands on you and you haven't provoked it, by all means, go and lay charges. But if that hasn't happened and you're going to lay charges, just understand it makes life harder for other women that actually have been the victim. All right? Stop being greedy if that's what you're actually doing. And some of you are doing that. Not all. Here we go. And the judge dismissed Young's request. He remarked that he's working on a more crucial DV in custody case. And Okay, so I apologize. Let me just back up a second. I don't think I interpreted that right. In fact, I didn't. The judge said that he's working on a more serious domestic violence and custody case, and therefore her requests for mullah were not as important. So I'm glad I clarified that, but my point still stands on what I said. It's unclear at this time if that's the same claim as the $1.5 million request she made for security. Probably not, but maybe. This week, Dr. Dre responded to Young's $2 million claim per month, by the way, saying this all seems like the wrath of an angry person being exacerbated by opportunistic lawyers. He also revealed that he's already paid. Oh, Dre has already paid $5 million in lawyer fees for Nicole Young for their divorce. So he's already given her $5 towards her campaign to screw him over. I mean, I don't know whether I want to call the guy overly generous or a simp at this point or both. No Simp September's finished, but it lives on in my head. It lives on in my heart. Stop simping, Dr. Dre. Cut off the supply, baby. But you know what? Maybe this is a very, very clever ploy on his part because the judge can clearly see that he's not denying her money. He's saying, look, if you need money for the separation, here's $5 million. You know, here's a security team. You can have all of this stuff. I want you to be safe, and I want you to know that you have an equal footing in this case. So that's a very smart move on Dre's part because the judge is going to see through these demands, which is obviously happening. And here's the thing. She had already decimated the company bank account. She emptied the entire company bank account. It was $364,000 roughly between that. I'm going to give you the exact amount: $363,571.85 US from the company's bank account. She just took it. She signed herself a check out to Nicole Young. The audacity of this woman. It's fully traceable. There's like pictures up of the check online. If you want to go check it out, I think Jason, the working man at workingman20 on Instagram has that up on his Instagram. I'm going to check that actually in a second. So yeah, she emptied it out. Attorney Ed McPherson attached a photocopy of the check. A photocopy of the check to the letter featuring her signature and the exact amount listed. He went on to accuse her of blatant and unjustifiable criminal embezzlement of company funds. That's what happened. By the way, I found that post from the working man, my brother Jason. And of course, this was just news after the divorce proceedings got even messier than they already were. Here's a copy of the check right here. Right there. Name Nicole Young. Pay Nicole Young, paying to Nicole Young from the company bank account. Like, this is just blatant criminal embezzlement. Although I believe there's some sort of loophole where she can't get in trouble for this because she was technically given authority over the company's account, which is something that Dre shouldn't have done. But I understand they've been married for a while and he thought he could trust her. He thought he could trust her. And as Jason said, look at what Nicole Young did now. She took this out from Dre's record company. She's not going to let up until her demands are met or until she's completely denied. And I think that that's probably the path that's most likely to be what comes up from here. Dr. Dre's daughter calls Truly Young. Dr. Dre's daughter, Truly Young, calls out 50 Cent for disrespecting her mother. You disgust me, she says to 50 Cent. Let me have a look at what he said. Dr. Dre's daughter, Truly Young, is not happy with 50 Cent, who recently commented on Dre's increasingly complicated divorce from Nicole Young. In a post on Instagram earlier this week, 50 Cent shared a screenshot of a Daily Mail headline that read, Dr. Dre's estranged wife, Nicole Young, wants $2 million in monthly support, which is true. In the post's caption, he added, these biatches be crazy. How do you even ask for $2 million per month? That's a very, very good question, 50 Cent. Very good question. On catching wind of 50's comments, Truly Young hopped in the comments of the post to directly address 50, who is famous on social media for his Instagram takes on public drama. Haha, coming from an ugly, washed up early 2000s rapper who filed for bankruptcy and is only envious of my family's wealth and lifestyle, she wrote in a comment on the post, which she also shared on her Instagram story. Have fun spending the rest of your savings on steroids. Fuck you. She didn't stop there, posting another message on her story that called him out for referring to her mother, Nicole, as a bitch. Now, truly, I'm going to direct this specifically to you. And I'm going to ask you a question. If 50 Cent had, so let's say, for example, let's say if your mother, Nicole, the same mother you're defending, were to bankrupt your father, well, guess what? He would then be a washed up early 2000s rapper who filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, that's right. That'd be your dad you're talking about if your mum got her way. I'm not going to say that Dre's ugly. He's still a good-looking man, even when he's not dressed up for the for the red carpet, right? But that's exactly what Dre would be if he was bankrupted by Nicole Young, which she would do given half a chance, given even a third of a chance, she would do it in a heartbeat. She wouldn't even flinch or hesitate. So you better think about the things that you say, truly, because that could be your father. And this is the whole thing about women feel so free to shame men, not realizing that their own family is just one strategic move away from being the very men that they have no respect for, that they shame, that they talk shit about. Yeah, I said it. And by the way, to those of you in the chat who are asking if I got your emails, I will check the emails after this. I get so many emails a day, it's hard to keep track, but I will check that out. So, yeah, guys, I'm telling you, truly, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself, girl, because if your mother gets her way, that's going to be your father, and your name's going to be Mud. Guess what? Fiddy's going to come back at you, and you're going to have nothing on him. Shaming language does not work on men who don't give a shit about you. And this applies to every single facet of your life. It doesn't work on men who don't want your validation. And this is why, men, I say it's so important to validate yourself for yourself and not for anybody else, and not on the basis of what anyone else said to you. Respect yourself and yourself only. And if you do that, then other people will respect you. If you don't, people will walk all over you. You're going to be like a dirty rug on a muddy day. Anyway, guys, I would love to get your take on what you think of this video. I put all the links. And before I go, I'm just, we see this image of Dr. Dre as he's the boss. He's the king of the castle, right? We see him in his articles, in his videos, driving fancy cars and in his lab. And, he's got all of his platinum albums up on all the walls. Yeah, on the walls of the house that he doesn't live in anymore, gentlemen. Because he was stupid enough to get married and let his wife have authority over his assets. And not have them hidden away in something like maybe, I don't know, this? Or like crypto that she can't get her hands on? All the things that you should be getting your hands on right now, if you're ever going to consider having any sort of relationship with a woman. Take back the control of your own destiny and your own life, gentlemen. So, some of you, most of you, if you've ever been a fan on any level of Dr. Dre's work, then you would have heard of the song Forgot About Dre. Now, if you go and listen to that song and you watch the video, you'll see this particular frame towards the end. This is Nicole Young back in her better days with Dre in the background. And he walked up to the house. She opened the doors of the house. He walked in, stood behind her, then she closed the door. Ask any body language expert what that means. Because what that means is that she dominated him behind those closed doors. And she's still trying to dominate him now. And for all of you guys who see a woman on the street and you go, oh man, that woman, she's the woman of my dreams. She's so hot. I'll marry her. Oh my God, so stunning. Well, You see this woman in the picture? Well, as she gets older, this is what this woman used to look like that. Now she looks like that. And then when you take that makeup off, she looks like this. Still ready to get married, gentlemen? Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear what you thought of this video. Leave your respectful comments below. Please keep them respectful. I'd like to keep the channel for a while longer. And if you want to send me a donation, feel free to head on over to PayPal, link in the description. If you want to support this channel by switching from Chrome browser to Brave browser, which is exactly the same, but with more privacy, so Google can't get your hands on as much of your data, head on over to sydneymigtower.com/brave, also in the description. And check out the TMZ link to see what people were suggesting as an alternative remedy and a much more cheap alternative that I don't condone and I don't recommend, but was being said by some people. Guys, I'm out of here for now. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.